Now, it's quite interesting that we have topics that are so related to our human condition and the way we thrive as humans, and still we need to understand the importance of certain fundamental needs as sleep. But sleep really does affect overall everything from our mood to our blood sugar to our mental function to our immune system. I mean, on a holistic basis, it affects so much. And it's not just about the quantity of sleep, how much we sleep, but of course the quality. And luckily enough, we have an expert in this area who is with us here today, Nickolai Damgaard, who I'm sure many, or if not all of you know, because he's one of Denmark's leading biohackers and also, of course, a well-known keynote speaker on physical health and mental health. And he's going to now take us on a journey relevant to sleep. So please give it up to Nickolai.
Thank you. Thank you, and really nice to see so many people. I was a bit afraid that there will be 5 people or so I'm glad to see that many people. And just said in the introduction, I will go a deep dive in this sleep area. But before we start on that, I will just make a small introduction to who I am and how I'm working normally. Normally, I'm working with my colleague, Jeanette. We are working in our company called Master of Energy because we believe in that everything is energy. And today, lack of energy is actually the new lifestyle diseases because many of the people that we work with, they come to us and say, oh, I really lack energy. I don't have the capacity to do my job, to be with my family, and so on. And normally we work with different kind of companies, and we work with what we call high performers within the business world, and also pro athletes. And when we work with these people, we always work with the connection of the body and mind. In our world, it doesn't make sense to separate these two, because when you understand the body-mind connection and you understand how you can optimize this body-mind connection, then you really can increase your energy, your performance, and then you have all the capacity to do all the things that you want in your life. And for me, sleep also have a personal story. 15 years ago, I went totally down in a really dark hole, difficult depression, stress, burnout. Went to the doctor, the prescription of some anti-depression medicine and so on. Hopefully, lucky-wise, I said no to that, and I started looking into my circadian rhythm, which 15 years ago was totally new for me. And I was sitting out in my garden, getting some daylight, doing some exercising to create a sleep pressure, and begin to understand how my circadian rhythm was working so I could optimize my sleep. And that was actually what the main part to get me out of this depression. And that is some of the things that I want to share with you today. But before we go to the topic of sleep, I actually want to share a great news with you. Because last week, one of my friends from the US called me. They have worked on a treatment that is quite evident, that has huge benefits. You can actually see all the benefits up here on the slides. It's actually a major science breakthrough. A pill with no side effects, low cost, and have all the benefits that you see up here. You look healthier, you maintain weight, you prevent a lot of lifestyle diseases and so on. And this guy, my friend, who is a doctor, he asked me, when you go to Copenhagen Health Week next week, could you please ask the Danish audience if they're willing to pay for a treatment like this, a pill? So that is my first question to you. Is any one of you willing to pay for a pill that you can take every day with all these benefits, without side effects? Up with your hands. Okay. The only problem is, for this guy is there's already a competitor on the market, but it's totally free. And I admit, this competitor, they have a quite bad rumor, but it's totally free. Is there anyone here that know who this competitor is? Oh my God! Exactly. This magic pill is in the front of us every single night. But many of us choose not to take the pill because maybe we are afraid of missing out life, or this fear of missing out, FOMO. But I can already give you the first takeaway from today. If you don't focus on your sleep and your sleep quality, then you will definitely miss out life in the long run. And just remember that lack of sleep, bad sleep quality, will give you all the opposite that you just saw on the previous slide. So when we work with people, we often see that they are trying out different kind of supplements, crazy treatments, gadgets, you name it, all the stuff. And when I ask into how is your circadian rhythm actually working, how is your breathing, how is your hydration, how is everything, they look at me, are you not a biohacker? Are you not interested in supplements and gadgets and all that? This sub-optimization is what we call putting a gold roof on a shitty wood house. You have not the foundation in control. And for me and for us, creating good sleep habits, creating good sleep quality is the foundation if we want to build a strong house in our physical and mental health. And I think it's funny to look into our society today in the Western world. We have never, ever known so much about our mental and physical health. And there has never been more focus on being healthy. But we have never been more sick. That is a crazy thing for me. And I actually don't think that we need more knowledge. We need to begin act on the things that we already know. And I think lack of sleep, lack of energy is one of the main reasons why we see that many people are so sick, so mental under mental pressure that we see today. And I think also that people have forgotten how it is to be in the green battery. Because when we are in the green battery, then we have the capacity, we have the power to do all the things that we want. And I don't think there's any of you that would allow going out of your home tomorrow morning with your phone in the red battery, right? No? But many of us go out every single morning in not maybe red battery, but maybe then in the yellow battery. And what is important to understand is when we sleep, we recharge our body battery, we consolidate from short-term memory to long-term memory, we detox, we get our hormones in balance, and so on. So if we really want to increase our mental and physical health, then we definitely have to look into how we increase the sleep quality by look into how we optimize our circadian rhythm. Because we have to understand that everything we do during the day has either a negative or a positive effect on our sleep quality. From the beginning, we wake up and going out of the bed, and that is also why we always say a good night's sleep starts the second that we wake up. And the reason why everything that we do during the day has such a huge impact, either negative or positive, is because a thing called the circadian rhythm, a place in here in our brain with specialized clock genes that control everything from hormones to temperature, when one organ is more active than the others, and so on. And this circadian rhythm is mainly controlled by 3 factors: light, when we eat, and when we sleep. And I have, it's maybe difficult to see here actually, but we have a circadian rhythm here, and there's some time slots on the circadian rhythm that is not exactly for all of us. So it's not 6 in the morning for everyone in here. Our cortisol will increase. That is not the important thing you have to understand. The important thing you have to understand is that during the day, there's time slots or areas where we have to be aware of what we are doing. So if we, for example, start with the importance of light, some of the most important thing, and that what really helped me when I was depressed, is getting some sharp white light in the morning, because that will reset your circadian rhythm. It will increase the cortisol. It will turn down your sleep hormone melatonin. And I know that ideally, in the summer and the light month of this year, then it will be going out the garden, look up to the sun and get the sunlight, daylight. In the more darker months, then you can use different kind of lights, or even though white LED lights, because you need to have this sharpness in your eyes, which will reset your circadian rhythm. So light as the first thing in the morning and during the day is so important. And then it make it opposite, because we have to be aware of the blue and white light in the evening. And just to be honest, the evening routine is where people, sorry my friends, fuck up their circadian rhythm most. Because when we have eaten our dinner, we look into screens, we have a lot of light turned on in the house and so on. And this circadian rhythm have nerve pathways to our eyes. So the light environment control a lot of this circadian rhythm. And different kind of studies have shown that just 2 hours of screen blue light exposure during the night will decrease our melatonin hormones by 25 to 40%. It is so significant that we have to take this serious. So that is light. Get it in the morning, during the day, avoid blue and white light in the evening. The timing of when we eat is also really, really important if we want to increase our sleep quality. Don't eat too close for bedtime, because when we go into our sleep, our digestion system will slow down. And during the night, we have to digest our life, not the food. And if you eat too close to bedtime, you will see the day after, especially if you track your sleep, that your resting heart rate has elevated and your heart rate variability has decreased, which is really, really bad for our health and not only the sleep quality. So only be aware of when do you eat. This time-restricted eating is really, really important, and that is maybe that one choice where you can actually stop eating after dinner and then get a circadian rhythm that is actually working for you instead of working against you. Because if you eat too close for bedtime, then you will start your digestive system, you will not get all the benefits of the sleep, and then you're working with your human rhythms and how it is to be a human being. The last thing that is really important is when we sleep, because the timing of that is also important. Now it may be difficult to see up here, but there is a window some hours before midnight and after midnight where we have the best possibility to get this really, really important deep sleep. So it also, if you just go to bed after midnight, 1 o'clock or so on, then you miss this golden opportunity to get this really, really important deep sleep. So the timing of when we sleep is also really important. And also the regularity. When you go to bed and when you wake up is one of the most important things, especially if you have sleep issues. You have to start there and try to keep a schedule that is quite nasty, even also in the weekends. I think all of us who had small kids or try to have small kids, we know how much 1 hour when we do the shift from summertime to wintertime can fuck up our children's circadian rhythm. The same for us adults. And actually, when we go for this shift where we sleep 1 hour less, we can actually see the following Monday, there's a 24% increase in heart attacks. When we change the opposite way, when we get 1 hour more of sleep, there is a 21 decrease the following Monday on heart attacks. So it's so stupid in our society that we have this shift because it actually has an impact on our health. So you really need to understand that everything you do during the day has either a positive or negative effect on your sleep quality. So if I should build up a perfect sleep house, the foundation will be understand your circadian rhythm, regularity, light, when do you eat, when do you sleep. That is the foundation of building a strong sleep house. The walls in the sleep house, that will then be the sleep environment. So how is the environment in our bedroom? The temperature, the air quality, light, or hopefully darkness when we should sleep. And also not too much mess in the bedrooms. Sometimes when we work with clients and I ask to look into the bedrooms, people are a bit embarrassed because many people use their bedrooms for extra storage or something like that, because normally the guests don't go into the bedrooms. But the bedroom should actually be a really nice, calm place to go into, so we can relax, so we can get down in our parasympathetic nervous system, so we can relax. Not too much mess in the bedroom. So the sleep environment is really important though. And then if we should put a roof on this house, then you can look into different kind of supplements, magnesium, glycine, B6 and all that, to optimize your sleep quality. There's no supplements or no gadgets that can compensate for a bad circadian rhythm. Sorry to kill the party, and I think there's a lot of people out here that will not agree with me, but I totally believe in that, because you cannot, if you have a bad circadian rhythm, it doesn't make sense, or you will not improve your sleep quality by taking magnesium. But you can optimize your sleep quality when you have built up your house like this. And then also just remember that sleep problems can have many other root causes. It can, for example, be mental issues. It can also be gut issues, because before we can create melatonin up here in the brain, we have to create a neurotransmitter called serotonin. And the body's production of this serotonin, 90% of that is actually in the gut. So gut issues can actually create sleep issues. And sleep issues can actually be the root cause in the gut. Food choices, food intolerance, food allergies, and all that can also affect the sleep quality. And then also, of course, stress. But if you have to take in all these areas, then we need more time, and then it's another speak. So I actually want to, in this end, ask you, how does your sleep house actually look like? Because if you don't build it up as I just said, then there is actually foundation for not sleeping well. And for me, again, in all this biohacking, longevity world and all this, it doesn't make sense for me trying all these amazing products, gadgets, treatments, if you don't have your foundation in control. We can discuss how to eat. We can discuss how to train, but we cannot discuss if sleep is important or not. We have to use 8 hours per day, 1/3 of our life on sleeping. It is important. So really do yourself a favor, try to optimize this, then you will see that your health, mental and physical, will be much better. Sometimes the relation that you have around you will also be more nice when you sleep, because you are just a better shape. The last thing I want to share with you is that if you want Jeanette's and my sleep hacks, then you actually have a possibility to scan this barcode, and then you will get 8 sleep hacks. It is in Danish though, so that is up to you if you want to do that. And that was actually what I have prepared for you guys, talking about sleep, on understand your circadian rhythm, look into these low-hanging fruits, that if you're not working with them, then start doing that, and then you can look into all the sub-optimization afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Nickolai. Thank you for navigating us on the journey of sleep. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Oh.
One second, we'll just give you a... Yeah.
Tak.
Hi, thank you.
Hi.
Have you heard this theory about that it's actually bad to have coffee in the morning because it fucks up something with your hormones, and there are some people who are trying to avoid the coffee?
Yeah.
Can you relate to this?
Yeah, you have to, yeah. It's especially this Humor Man podcast that have talked a lot about this, that when you look into if you wake up in the morning without an alarm clock, then it's your cortisol that is increasing. And cortisol is our stress hormone. And is fluctuated every time you do something stressful. So it could be training, it could be drinking wine, and drinking coffee. So the idea is that you don't want to push your natural cortisol spike in the morning, and that you have to wait 1.5 hours drinking your coffee. I don't think that there's not enough evidence to say that it's totally clear that it's like that. Again, when we work with people, you can look into a lot of studies, but in the end, it come up to what work actually for you. So for me, it worked quite perfect drinking my coffee within the first 30 minutes in the morning. It's a morning ritual for me. I really enjoyed it, and it is just a mental beginning for my day. And I don't have sleep issues. I don't have stress issues. I don't have issues when I do my blood work and all that. So for me, it's actually working. So my best advice is, yeah, it could be a thing, but try it out how it will work for you personally. Yeah.
I think that's so important to also highlight that, we can talk about so many things that are good or less good, but, each and every one of us are unique, and our composure and our pH levels are unique. So we always have that we're getting more to precision and personalized medicine. So I think it's
definitely
good advice.
Yeah,
that,
within the biohacking world, we have this statement, N = 1.
Yeah.
And that is we are our own test person. So we need all the advice that you get here on this amazing Health Week. You need also to try it out if it's working for me, because just as you said, we are different. We have different work lives, we have different family lives, and so on. So yeah, definitely, it's a really important thing. Yes.
But a lot of questions there. We're out of time. Okay, can they come and reach you
Yeah, I
afterwards?
will be here afterwards.
So eager, wanting to give the audience time, but we're out of time. So you can go to Nickolai afterwards.
Yes.
Nickolai, thank you so much.
Thank you.